I don't know about you guys, but I'm forever feeling like cherries are forever underappreciated. Why don't people talk about cherries more? Hello, welcome back to another video. Today is, I don't even know what today is. Does it even really matter? I don't know. Today is a day. I went to the doctor this morning just to have a quick checkup because I've been out here now for like 3 months and I've been way overdue for a doctor's appointment. Hashtag free health insurance in Toronto. You can go to a doctor and it's like 40 bucks to see somebody, which I thought was pretty cool. So went and had a checkup early this morning. It is super freaking hot, but I actually weighed myself there and I asked them if I could actually undress because normally like you'll weigh yourself with your shoes on and everything. So I asked if they could give me some privacy to undress properly and I weighed in at 109.2. So I've lost 0.2 pounds in the last day, which is pretty cool. And then after that, I went over to Shoppers to buy myself some fruit just on the quick. I didn't feel like going to an actual grocery store. I'm going to quickly have some cherries and probably like 1 or 2 scoops of some protein because I am so hungry and I'm trying to save my carbs for Friday because it's a Friday night, so I want to like actually go out to eat with my friends. And so I'm going to not necessarily fast throughout the day, but just keep it pretty low calorie throughout the day. That way at the end I can indulge. Yes. After this, I'm going to head to the gym and do some OHP, and then I'll also be doing HIIT. I'll be doing the same HIIT as the last video, which was basically running up and down the stairs for 15 minutes and then walking it, I'm sorry, running up and down the stairs for 1 whole set, technically a set, and then walking through it, and I'll do that for 15 minutes. Yeah, should be pretty good, but right now it's freaking boiling hot. I have on Gymshark tank top, Gymshark leggings, all decked out. And hashtag be active. I walked from my local drug mart back home and I'm currently at 3.7K steps for the day. Killing the game, sweating more than ever. Oh my god. Guys, this is my super duper light pre-workout. I have a scoop of the EHP Labs Oxyway in mocha flavor, just 1 scoop, and then I did about 150 grams of some cherries here. That is what I'm going to have, and then I'll probably lay low for like 30 minutes or so, maybe play some 3DS, and then I will head to the gym. Can we all just take a moment to acknowledge how much effort I've been putting into my makeup and appearance for these videos recently, because this is effort if I've ever seen it. For real though, someone left a comment on my channel like 2 days ago or something like that, and they were like, oh my god, who gets that ready for the gym? And I'm... This house is haunted. This house is freaking haunted. Did you guys hear that? Okay, as I was saying, oh my god, my heart's pounding so fast. But yeah, no, anyway, somebody left me a comment and they're like, who gets that ready for the gym? And I'm like, guys, I literally just have mascara on. Can I please at least make my lashes look like they tried today? Yes! That's so good! So good! So good! Also guys, on the quick, I want to share a channel with you guys that I've been watching a ton recently. I've actually known about her channel for a while, but just recently I've been watching her so much. 1, because I think she's like the most adorable person ever. 2, I think she has the most adorable voice ever, and her boyfriend are so freaking cute. But she's also been putting up a lot of videos recently during her cuts that I think can help a lot of girls who are kind of trying to figure out what route they want to take, or just kind of need some of those one-on-one talks. She's one of the only people I know that can sit in front of a camera for like 10 minutes and talk about kind of her life experiences and how she kind of wants to help you guys have a different viewpoint on the approaches that she takes or the approaches you should take, all of that. And her channel name is Mariana Dvorska. I never know if it's Vorska, like the D is silent, or Dvorska, but I'm going to link her channel below, and then a couple of the videos I've watched recently that I really enjoyed that I think could help some of you guys. But she deserves so many more subscribers than she has. She has an amazing personality and she's super driven and sweet. So congratulations, by the way, Mariana. If you're watching, you're moving to LA with Omar soon. That is gonna be so exciting, and I cannot wait to hang out with you when you get out there. You have to hang out with me. Be my friend. Definitely make sure to check out her channel. Go to her most recent video and leave her a comment letting her know that I sent you guys over. And yeah, make sure to check her out. I just want to share that with you guys. She's definitely a good person to watch if you're just getting into fitness, or if you're already into fitness and you're just looking for some insightful advice and someone that you can relate to. Hey guys, so I got back from the gym not too long ago and I feel like I haven't put on makeup, like genuinely like my regular day-to-day makeup in a long time. So I figured for this Q&A I would just quickly wash my face and throw on a little bit of makeup. So in one of my last videos, I basically asked you guys if you would be open to me filming another kind of like preparing for your first big move Q&A, because I got a ton of questions when I first moved to Los Angeles, and I still get questions now, and I just haven't been addressing them because I've honestly been trying to decide if I should do a Q&A like this one, and I got a really positive response from you guys on Instagram and on YouTube. For those of you that are new and don't know this, I recently moved from the Bay Area to Los Angeles in April, so it has been almost 5 months now since I have done the move. And yes, I have been in Toronto for the last month and a half, and some of you guys are thinking that I'm from Toronto or that I live in Toronto, and no, it's not that. I just travel here pretty frequently, and when I come, I stay for a pretty long amount of time. So I'll be going back home in August. My apartment is still waiting for me. It's not like I already left it or anything like that. But yes, I, for the first time ever at 21 years old, moved out, got my first apartment, away from home, away from family, away from friends, and entirely on my own budget. And it was honestly a huge deal for me making that move. It's something that I've been dreaming of doing since I was a little girl, and finally doing it was huge. It was a huge step for me, and it was very, very exciting. But I honestly delayed the process by a bunch because I'm an anxious person, and I made myself super nervous about budgeting and making sure that I had enough, and what neighborhood do I want to move to, and all of these different factors. So I'm going to go through and read some of your guys' most frequently asked questions, and I will address them here now. Yeezy Baby CO asked, I hope this question makes sense, but what's the main thing you look for in an apartment? Does the kitchen have to be big, or is it the bedroom? This might sound kind of ridiculous, but for myself, I look at the overall building. I like to see that there is some sort of security, whether it's gated parking, a gated community, security that like will go around the building at night. There are tons of apartments like this, and the reason I look for this is because I've had some peeping Tom experiences in the past and break-in experiences, so I'm very, very particular about where I live. I want to make sure I'm in a very safe area because I live by myself, so I want to make sure that I feel safe 100% of the time, and that robbery and theft and all of that is something that I don't have to worry about. Leah.Sheets asked, do you find it easy maintaining your own place while being so busy / traveling so much? Because I have an easy, tiny little apartment, all I really have to worry about is making sure that I pay my rent and my electricity. Sorry, that was a notification on my computer. All I have to make sure is that I pay my rent, my electricity, my water bill, all of that. And thankfully, the way that my apartment is set up is it's all bundled into my rent. So I don't have to like pay PG&E and then call my, internet provider and pay them. I was lucky enough to find a leasing property that just bundles it all together. So yeah, I find it very, very easy. It's not very complicated since it's all in one place. And my apartment's very low maintenance. It's like 610 square feet, so I don't have to worry about like having a gardener come in or like watering my plants or anything. It's just my tiny little home. Probably will need to be dusted a little bit when I get there, but it should be perfectly fine. This is actually a really good question, and it's from Blanc O. And I totally know her. She comments on a lot of my stuff, and she's totally an OG, but she put, could you talk about how you time manage and budget, how you keep track of expenses, daily life, work, etc. This is something that I actually learned from my mentor, who is a freaking genius. He's taught me everything that I know when it comes to basically properly managing life and business in general. Something that my mentor taught me was to basically get a bunch of regular files. You can get like color ones. Mine are like purple, yellow, blue, all of that. And then you can categorize them, right? Which could be your cell phone bill, your health insurance, your internet and water and PG&E and all of that. You put that into one category because it's bills that you know you're gonna have to pay every single month. And then you could have another category that's gonna be your grocery shopping and gas, and another category that'll be shopping and entertainment, right? So it's the same idea as what these websites do, but all manual. And so what I'll do from there is I'll get a scratch piece of paper, and I will literally track every single expense. What I'll do is I'll track every transaction, and then I'll also get a receipt and I'll pin it to the paper, and at the end of the month I'm able to review all my expenses and see where I overspent and underspent. This is the one thing, everybody wants to be responsible and accountable for the things that they do, but no one's ever willing to put in that additional work. It only takes maybe 5 minutes out of the end of your day. I would really recommend putting in that extra time to do that. There are also other websites online that will just offer like good information and advice. I know that Allstate has a tools and resources website that you can go to, and it'll offer some helpful information when it comes to like renting and your budgeting situation. So I'll leave that linked in the description box for you guys. Hopefully that'll help you out a little bit. Abs asked, there's a lot of Z's in that username, asked how much planning did you have to do to find the right place? Did you think about moving and immediately started looking for places and deciding, or did you look and give it some time? I highly recommend, especially if you're getting your first apartment, to take your sweet time finding the perfect place. After all, you're most likely going to be signing a 1-year lease. So that means you are stuck in that place for 365 days. So you want to absolutely make sure that you've picked the right place, that you feel safe there, that you feel comfortable, that you love the location, etc., etc. Although I did know that I wanted to move to Los Angeles, I 1000% waited until I had the appropriate budget to not only afford my first month's rent, but all of the additional fees that come with paying for your first month's rent, along with my first month of other bills, cell phone, groceries, gas, all of that, and also made sure I could afford all my furniture. If you don't have the time to wait that long, then definitely make sure that you can afford your furniture and first month's rent. But if you really want to be completely safe in this and you are a pretty anxious person and you want to make sure everything is done pretty much perfectly, where there's really no room for mistakes or falling short on cash, then I really recommend saving up a couple $1,000s, because a move is never a cheap thing. Be prepared and be wise about this. Definitely take your sweet time, find the perfect place, and make sure that you have saved and budgeted appropriately. What I did is I actually created a separate savings account on top of my regular savings account called LA Savings, and I would put aside, a couple $100s a month into that, or however much I could put in that month to make sure that I was prepared. If you really think about it, I've been wanting to move to LA for probably 4 or 5 years now, and I was just able to do it a couple months ago. So take your sweet time. You guys asked some good questions. Anya_Orlov asked you, most apartment complexes ask for you to verify a monthly income. I feel like that is difficult if you're moving cities and don't have a job there yet or in the process of finding one. Yes, pretty much every apartment building you move into will ask for income verification, because they don't want to, take somebody in and then you have the potential of ruining your credit, and then they have the potential of losing money because you can't afford to actually live there. There are some places that are a little sketchy. I know the previous place that I got accepted into did not do an income verification, and that was weird to me because I'm like, well, are you guys just accepting anybody? Does that mean you guys aren't doing background checks on these people? All of that? I would avoid places that don't do income verification, honestly. But don't worry about, moving city to city. What they're mainly going to ask for is your bank statements for the last 3 to 6 months. So it's not about how much you have in your bank account at that exact moment, it's about how much you've made in the past. And they're not really going to ask about, where you're coming from and how you plan to pay rent in the future. They just want to know and have valid proof that your transaction history shows that you'd be able to afford the apartment that you would be moving into. KEI.fit asked, how did you know you were ready to afford your own place? It really just came down to every single month that I would experience a raise, or I obviously was seeing more and more in my bank account, is when I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for my own apartment now. I calculated how much I was making a month on average, and what I started doing was, when I realized I was making a sufficient amount of money to get my own place, every single month for about 6 months, I tracked my income to make sure that it wasn't fluctuating up and down, because I'm self-employed, so my income fluctuates. So I made sure that it was staying around the same and figured out what my median income was and basically created my budget based off of that. So from there, I decided how much rent I would be able to afford. I then added up all of my bills, all the cell phone bills, health insurance, all those things I've been talking about, and I would subtract from my income, see how much I would be left, and I knew that at the end of the month, I wanted to have at least $500 left over to have for entertainment and savings, at least $500. I think the rule of thumb is you shouldn't spend more than 30% of your income on rent, and at the end of the month, you should have a minimum, as a young adult, of $500 to either put away into savings or to have a little bit of cushion to go out and eat or have entertainment and also put into savings. Hopefully that helps. All right, the last question that I'm going to take is from Nanis_Osorio. What would be a recommended amount of savings to have before moving out? I love your place, it's so cute. Thank you. Why is the phone ringing? This number is going to be different for everybody, but what I would recommend is basically looking at your income, seeing how much you can set aside, and once you figured that number out, start looking at your rent budget. So let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, that you don't want to spend more than $1,500 a month on rent. Fine. Fair enough. So you definitely want to save up $1,500 so that you can pay your first month's rent. Let's just say each month, with all of your bills, your groceries, your gas, your cell phone, health insurance, all of that, you've got another $1,000 on top of that. So we're now looking at $2,500. Then you need to buy furniture. You don't have any furniture at all. And if you're shopping on a budget, which is totally possible, girl, go to IKEA, or boo, boy, whatever you hello. You're gonna wanna save another $1,500 for that. So we've gone from $2,500 to $4,000. And then on top of that, you're gonna have a security deposit, which I probably should have mentioned earlier on, which can be anywhere from $500 to $1,000. So you're now at $5,000. But I think it's a completely reasonable idea to save up about $5,000 to make sure that you can pay your first month's rent, pay for all of your furniture, and pay for all of your first month of bills. That way you don't have to worry about anything once you get there. All right guys, that's gonna be the end of this Q&A. I've actually recorded 30 minutes of footage, so I need to condense this down to like 8 minutes. But I really hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment them below, and I'll do my best to address all of them in the comment section for you guys. I also want to quickly thank Allstate for sponsoring this video. You could check out more on them in the description box with some of the links that I provided for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like and comment below and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out. I need to stop waving and saying peace out. Peace out.